Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. Good to have you with us. We're live from the HCCTV studios this morning. Congratulations. You made it to Friday. We got a 3-day weekend almost upon us. One more work day. Got to get through today, then 3 days off. We won't be on the air Monday. We'll talk about that later on in the show. My co-host, Parrish, is joining me live from the other studio. Good morning, Parrish.
Good morning. How about that? Thank God it's Friday.
Yeah, TGIF. That's right. Seems like a long week, but it is almost over with. We want to thank everyone watching us on Facebook Live and YouTube. You can also you can catch us live just about every morning when HCC is in session, live at 10 a.m. Next week, we won't be on for a few days, so we'll talk more about that later in the show. But we also, Parrish, are on social media. They can watch the rebroadcast of the show, or they can check us out on HCCTV.
Absolutely. We're live on YouTube and the Houston Community College District Facebook page. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and on HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m., Monday through Friday.
Okay, Parrish, stick around because you'll be interviewing this next guest. If you remember yesterday's show, we took you out to the Houston Center for Contemporary Craft to talk about a exhibition they have going on. We talked about a filmmaker. Well, she's on the show this morning. Nicole Dextras is joining us. Good morning, Nicole. Oh, your mic is muted. Let's see if we can get you to unmute your mic. There we go. Good morning.
Good morning.
So you've got a big weekend coming up. We want to talk about your installation and everything you have going on in the film as well, along with the other things that people can see at the museum. So stick around. We're going to be with you in about 10 minutes.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to kick things off now. One of our favorite guests on the show. He's been on several times, the head of our international student program, still the largest among community college in the U.S., Dr. Nithy Sevantinathan. He's the director of HCC's International Student Services. Nithy, good morning.
Good morning, Todd. Thank you for the kind invitation. And I really want to give you a special thank you to you and your team for the great work you try to communicate, the great work our students do across the district to the whole world. You need to take kudos for all the great work.
Well, thank you. We couldn't do it without you and your students, though. You know, they have some great stories, and you've got a new campaign that is kind of focused on not only telling those stories, but talking about how HCC has helped them. It's called The Real Journey. Maybe you can tell us a bit about this campaign and what people can expect.
Great, Todd. Thank you. Todd, you know, HCC has been in this community for over 50 years, and we have produced some of the best minds, scholars, and students, not only in Houston, but across Texas, across the United States, across the whole world. But what I'm trying to explore here is to capture that journey. How did HCC play a very pivotal role in shaping your dream while you are here at Houston Community College? Remember, that's the story. It's a real story. I think you helped to shape the team, the real journey for all of us. So that we want to capture that. How was your journey at HCC? And then what happened after the journey, leaving HCC and moving to a 4-year school or to the real world in getting employment? I think you already done a few productions. Some of them are moving to Boeing. What a great journey. How did HCC create that opportunity for our students to dream bigger than beyond HCC? That's what we want to see. And hopefully that story, the real journey we're going to capture, will inspire our current student and future students. Look, HCC can shape your dream if you put your heart into it.
Yeah, you were talking about the student's journey to Boeing, and we had a student named Benjamin on earlier this week, and he was talking about going through HCC, everything we were able to provide him, and now he's working at Boeing. I believe he's an engineer there, and very exciting for him. Tell us about, you know, we've also talked a lot about HCC's 2+2 program. Why is that important to your students?
So Todd, this is a very important piece. Remember, HCC as a community college produces 3 important things. 1, the classroom size. It's one of the most affordable classroom size. I don't think there's anywhere in HCC campus you find students more than 22 to 25 students. Second, we have faculty teaching the class. And third, the cost of attendance. I share these stories to a lot of people from around the world. When I talk about this, they keep asking me, are you a car salesman? Is this real? It is real. I ask them to compare. This is tangible. So when these students like Benjamin come from Burkina Faso, Africa, come here and finish 2 years, and I said, why don't you take the first year and go to one of the public or state or private university and see how is the costing, how is the classroom look like? They will be in an auditorium. Sometimes the faculty have to use the binoculars to look for where are my students. Whereas in HCC, every faculty will know the student by their first name within the first week. What a great value for our students. So they come here for 2 years, able to get that 2 years finished and transferred to a 4-year institution where they did another 2 years. Benjamin was a perfect example. And the other one was Fatima Delgado, another perfect example, how they able to save costs and able to get the best global education here, right here in Houston, and then transfer to a 4-year school, like in the case of Fatima was University of Tyler, right here in HCC,
right,
and at University of Houston for Benjamin. Look, these are real journey that our students are walking. At the end, the ROI, the costing of the education, and getting employed. Can you see the real financial value, one, academic value, two, and the whole experience, the holistic experience they gain throughout their time here at HCC before they leave. And that is why I want to emphasize the 2+2 for students. I call the HCC or the American Community College as the unpolished gem. The more you discover, the more you, oh, wow, I didn't know that you have all these opportunities. That's what we want to create for them.
Nithy, I know you and I have talked over the last couple of years since the pandemic. There's been a lot of restrictions on travel, and this has affected our international students. Are things getting better now, and are people wanting to come to the U.S. from outside the country to study? Is that starting to open up now once again?
Todd, the whole idea of pandemic, it's so uneven around the world. In some parts of the world, I can only say this, Todd, people have not even got the first shot.
Yeah,
that's how the world is. Whereas here, we already got the second shot, first booster, second booster. In some part of the world, the accusation of getting the vaccination is still a struggle. Right now, for this coming academic year, Todd, the policy is still the same as of what they have established on March 2020, that all students who are coming to the US will be able to continue their academic learning through whatever modality HCC offers, except for the very first time, I want to define this very carefully, very first time when you're coming to the US to HCC for the very first time to study, then you need to have one of your classes out of the 12 credit to be face-to-face. Otherwise, you can take any modality. So this applies up to spring of 2023. Hopefully, fall of 23, we might see some changes. Hopefully, by the time the whole world may have got all their vaccination needed, so that there'll be less worries for travel and restrictions.
Nithy, I know people from other countries may have a lot of questions that our students here in the U.S. may not have, and you've established a system, the Student Exchange and Visitor Information System, to offer guidance for them. Maybe you can tell us about that.
Yes, Todd. One of the things that the pandemic have offered for us is to use technology to drive many of our communication. Right now, in the past, pre-COVID, we send most of our legal document that because we are the liaison for the Homeland Security, where we provide that, and we have to ensure the document is sent through courier services. And sometimes mail get lost. Now, the services are much more efficient. We can create the document and send that as an email attachment to the student. So it's instant. It's a great service. Not only that, any student from around the world can connect with us instantly through our lobby, our Zoom lobby. We open Monday to Thursday, 8 to 6, Friday, 8 to 5. Instantly, they can connect in any time zone on Central Time, 8 to 6, on Monday to Friday, Thursday, 8 to 5. This is an instant service. Can you see the benefit for our student? They don't have to pay. They don't have to travel. No. They can call from Malaysia, from Israel, from Ukraine, anywhere in the world. They can connect live to us and get answers to their questions. So that's the service we are providing. We are constantly want to ensure we have the touch point for our student. Despite there are so many uncertainties for students and parents to make decisions, we want to try to mitigate these uncertainties by reaching us through the technology services that we provide for our students.
We're going to have some links in our social media post after the show where people can connect to International Student Services. Nithy, I know we'll be working with you over the next couple of months to tell the students or tell the stories of your international students that you provide us and also helping you with the Real Journey campaign. We look forward to that, and we thank you for joining us this morning.
Todd, it's always a pleasure to be part of this show, and I think I want to give you kudos to all the great work you do. And the Real Journey hopefully will tell the story about how our 50 years of journey has been, not only for domestic students, but also for international students, because they are real. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Nithy. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to continue. Yesterday was Virtual Family Fun Day, and we highlighted the Houston Center for Contemporary Craft with an installation they have. Now we've got a filmmaker on who's being featured this weekend. Parrish, I'm going to go ahead and turn things over to you.
Yes, thank you, Todd. We have the pleasure on our Film Friday with a very special guest, Nicole Dextras. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well.
Great. Now, let me give everybody a little background on you. Nicole has an exhibition at the Houston Center for Contemporary Crafts called Addressing the Future. Welcome, Nicole. Our colleague Benjamin Escobar interviewed the curator yesterday and has since sent over some video that he shot yesterday for himself. And thanks. It was great sitting up and being able to get that video. But before we get into the installation and your films, tell us about your background and how you got into visual arts.
Well, I am a visual artist. I pretty much started as a painter, moved into installation eventually, but as a sideline, I also worked in theater. So I was a costume and set designer in theater for many years. And that has sort of laid the ground for me incorporating things like film and the costume making into my projects.
Okay, how has that it sounds like you're a jack of all trades. How has that helped with your transition in the films?
Well, it's helped a lot because first of all, I already had a lot of connections. So, and I had a lot of experience. I worked primarily in children's theater early on, and children's theater is all about creating magic for kids. It's really about creating fantasies and also being able to a lot of those kinds of shows travel, so being able to make things that come apart and get put together really quick. And so it was a real learning experience, and that kind of set me up.
Okay. They say don't work with kids, don't work with animals, but if you do, you can work with anybody.
Yeah.
So has filmmaking been more of a challenge because of logistics for you?
Yes. So I was creating sort of my own installation, and I was photographing them. And the logistics for that was complicated already, because I should explain from the top that the costumes that I make are out of real plant materials. So unlike usually, if the person's wearing the costume's done way in advance. For my photo shoots, I'd be making the costume late at night, putting on all those flowers and leaves, and then next day putting on my photographer hat and my logistics hat and getting the whole show rolling. So now with film, it just means that's times 10 because it's such a bigger crew and so many more people to manage. Yeah.
Wow. So what inspired you to do these types of wardrobe? Because I was doing some research on you, and you have a pomegranate dress.
Yeah.
I can't imagine saying, hey, can you send a drink over to the cute girl in the pomegranate dress?
Well, in the future.
Okay.
This is sci-fi. So in the future, you may be ordering that drink.
I'll take that. I'm a sci-fi guy.
Yeah, be prepared.
So what was your inspiration for this?
I was very interested in the environment. So it kind of came from that. And it was from wanting to connect people to nature, or at least make an intellectual connection to how we should treat nature. So the idea literally was to wear nature. And being the person that I am, which is a bit finicky sometimes, I decided, well, what if it was actually like not just leaves stapled onto something, but I made the whole thing that it was called Wear It and Compost It. So the whole thing is made out of actual materials that you could put in your compost.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that's probably the most unique thing I've ever heard in my entire life. So what are some of the challenges that come with doing environmentally friendly wardrobes in fashion?
So I mean, I have worked, like I said, I've worked in costumes, and generally, like for a film, you'd have 3 of everything. So, in case you have to reshoot a scene, in case something happens, whatever. So in this instance, there's always just the one. You got to get that shot, and you got to be even more organized because you can't have slip ups.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because cantaloupes don't stay in season. One cantaloupe dress. That's all you have.
Exactly. And like for the pomegranate dress, I mean, the makeup that she wears in the film, it took 5 hours to do that. I mean, It was really intense. She has real pomegranate seeds glued to her neck. It looks like a big jeweled necklace. And, when I decided afterwards that I needed to reshoot some scenes, I couldn't do that again. That was crazy. So I made a mask, and she wears this fantastic mask, and I made it work into the story. But you see, that was one of the challenges, that had to come up with other ideas.
Okay, now I want to talk about your film project specifically. What inspired you to do this trilogy, Addressing the Future?
Well, it is sci-fi. I am a big sci-fi fan, and
me too. Don't feel like the Lone Ranger. Me too.
No. And I'm interested in, because like I said, I was interested in environmental art. I wanted to approach that in film, and the way that most people are doing that in film today is through documentaries. I mean, it's documentaries about everything. But I wanted to try drama, and it's complicated because either you're telling a big action story and, people are watching it because it's full of action, or, I had to create a drama that was slower, but at the same time, really interesting looking. And that is because I have a visual arts background. I want it to be very, very visual, so that it's not all doom and gloom. So I decided to tackle 3 subjects, which is fires, floods, and deserts. And so each one, these are short films. Each short film kind of addresses that particular environmental disaster.
Okay. Now, being a sci-fi fan like yourself, one of the things that sci-fi primarily always focuses on is technology. You can beam them up, Scotty, you have laser beams, you have all of these things. How do you do that with environmental plants? How do you do that?
So the technology does not feature in any of these films because in the premise of my stories, these are all lone survivors. So it's more people who are trying to survive off the land. And so there's nobody to beam you up to, and there's no technology left if you're a lone survivor. So that's why they're just living off their wits and off the plant materials that are there. They are just barely surviving. But what I'm trying to show is their own sort of inner conflicts, but also the fact that they are surviving well. I'm trying to give people some hope in this idea of what our future could be. It's going to be different, but I'm trying to maybe counteract the the doom and gloom of a lot of the Hollywood kind of films, which are always showing people killing each other when a disaster happens. And in reality, you know, I'm a realist. In reality, people don't do that. In reality, people are lovely and help each other in disaster areas, right? So
that's one thing I learned.
Yeah.
See the best in people and the worst in people during
yeah. And we can't forget about that that sort of more positive side. And with the environment, it's very easy to feel like, oh my God, I mean, there's nothing I could do because it's crazy out there. But we have to remember how, as humans, we are very innovative. We can be very supportive, and so that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Right. Now you have 2 other films that are already done. Can you quickly tell me about those?
Well, the first one that I did is called, is the one, I'm sort of basing them very loosely on Greek mythology for my stories. So the first one is Persephone. Persephone is a Greek myth. And in the story of Persephone, she eats pomegranate seeds, which is why the pomegranate is featured in this film. And she's abducted and taken to the underworld. I'm not showing any of that. I'm just showing her surviving. But it sort of relates to that whole premise in the Greek myth. When she is abducted, the whole earth just dies. Okay. So now, it kind of relates to the environment today.
Okay. Now, where can we see these screenings? What time, what days, and where can we see these screenings?
Well, the films will actually be in the gallery.
Okay.
So you can see them here, and you can see them on my website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us today. It is so fun. I'm going to go see this exhibit. I'm interested in what the future looks like for plants.
Yes.
And I'll be nice to the girl in the cantaloupe dress. I will be nice to the girl in the cantaloupe dress. Thank you again, Nicole. The exhibition opens tomorrow, but you told us about you have a special event tonight.
Yes. We have the opening is tonight, and that's open to the public. So people want to come on down.
Great. Again, thank you. Nicole Dextras, filmmaker, and has an exhibition at the Houston Center for Contemporary Craft called Addressing the Future, and our Film Friday guest. Well, more information about her and the things happening at the center in our post after the show. Thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Parrish and Nicole. We got some HCC news and announcements to wrap up the show for today. The Media Arts Student Showcase is going on. It's on YouTube right now. It's for spring 2022. It's the end of the semester YouTube compilation screening. Includes student projects for filmmaking, audio recording technology, and the music business. It runs through August 15th. You can check it out on YouTube, and we'll have a link in our social media post. And Parrish, there are some STEM summer camps that are going on across the district this summer.
HCC's Community Learning Program is hosting STEM summer camps in partnership with Texas A&M and AgriLife and the AgriLife program. Sign up for Drone Swift Camp, June the 27th through July the 1st at HCC Southwest Campus in Stafford. Also VR and Swift Camp, July 18th through the 22nd. And HCC's Northwest Campus, the North Forest Campus. We'll definitely send you a link to those and post this after the show.
Okay, if you are looking to maybe get into the world of audio recording, maybe you want to be an audio engineer, well, there's a 4-weekend workshop going on at HCC this summer. HCC professor David Sharma will use unique features to hit the ground running, touching on music theory, creating beats, sampling, remixing, and using Ableton's live session and arrangement views. They're happening noon to 4 p.m. Saturdays, July the 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th. They are virtual, and they're virtual? No, they're actually in person. Try that out. They're in the brand new audio recording studio, and that's on our North Forest campus. Check that out. We'll have a link on how you can register for this workshop in our social media post after the show. And if you want to enroll in liberal arts, well, now's the time to do so as well, Parrish.
Absolutely. The HCC Liberal Arts Program, they have graduate and former SGA President Corey Glover, photographed here. You too can seek a degree from one of our liberal arts, humanities, and education programs. We'll have a link to register and for more information in our post after the show.
Okay, we always say that we're on the air just about every day. HCC is in session at 10 a.m. Mondays through Fridays. Next week, though, I think for the first time since we launched the show daily, we're not going to be on the air for 3 days next week. Monday is a holiday. We'll be on the air Tuesday and Wednesday. Monday's Memorial Day, by the way. Thursday and Friday, we have a special project our station will be working on, so we will not be on the air Thursday and Friday, but we'll have best of shows that you can join us for that will be running in place of the live up to the minute. So next week we're live on Tuesday and Wednesday, Parrish. Okay, fall registration. It is underway right now, along with summer registration for summer classes as well, Parrish.
Absolutely. You can still register for summer registration courses, and you can also You can also register while you're registrating for fall of 2022. Registration has begun. Courses remain the same. They're online anytime, online with a schedule, hybrid course, in person, or a hybrid lab. All students should contact instructors for details on and check their HCC emails for the latest postings and changes. For registration to all HCC programs, go to hccs.edu/apply. That's hccs.edu/apply.
Okay, 3-day weekend on tap, about to come up. That's right. We're off, of course, Friday or Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, which is Memorial Day. When we return on Tuesday, it will be Tasty Tuesday, as well as our last day of tribute to Asian American Pacific Islander Month. So look for special guests there. And we'll also look forward to having more guests, including our faculty and staff next week as well. Parrish, thanks for being here today. I'm sure we'll see you in the near future as well. We'll see all of you. We're back live Tuesday morning, live 10 a.m. right here for Up to the Minute.